All right, it is January. It's snowing out, and the forms guys are here because, like I said before, I'm not going to do this concrete work myself for the walls. It doesn't like mathematically add up. There we go. Nah, I wanted to prune those branches anyways. They brought a whole crew of guys. They just unloading steel over there. And then the boss man's on the forms truck today. The big guy, the owner. And he's trying to figure out where to put the cages because they want them to stand up. Unfortunately, the ground is frozen after a rainstorm. I had all these nice flat spots, but then what happened was the rain washed all down. And then yesterday I was out here with a rake trying to rake and shovel some flat spots, but there's not really much I can do about it, unfortunately. This Kenworth is nice because it's triaxle, but it's a real triaxle. All three axles drive. So it's not like mine where mine's really a tandem with a lift axle. This is an actual true triaxle. Got a pretty long reach too. That thing's got some serious reach.
Hey Ian, you got a shovel? What?
He can still go out even farther with it. You gotta put that pressure and the temperature in there?
Yeah.
Sweet.
So just shoot the top of that piece of rebar. Yeah.
So he's using his total station. He's gonna use my front corner piece that I originally put in, and then they're going to use that as a reference point to square everything.
Spin it left a little bit. Good. You guys already pulled the 52, right? Yeah. Good. Far point.
So I just cut that nub off with the grinder, that point, and now that they have it, and what they're doing is they're snapping lines for the walls, chalk lines. It's so much faster. This is why I didn't want to do it myself, because I would have had to do the plywood style, and it just takes longer. These you basically just put like it's funny too because he said my footing was dead on and dead square. But these, what you do is the tie goes in here, and then you just flip this over, and it locks it with the other one. And then they just tie it like this, and then they got another piece of rebar that's gonna lay across the top. So, and then there's I forget what they're called, but there's like boards that go on the inside, and they got these like clamps. They got these clamps that go over the board, and that's how you get the top, and that's how you get it straight. I'm pretty happy that my thing is square. I mean, he said I was dead on within like a 16th or something like that, which for not being a concrete guy, being 16th within a 16th, I'm pretty happy about that. But I'll tell you what, it is cold out here. I did not want to be doing this stuff in the winter, but whatever. Alright, so I'd say that they're like halfway done. I just want to take the dog out. I put him on a leash this time because I don't want to scare anybody. Not everybody is comfortable with German Shepherds and dogs in general, but so I think I'm going to go around with a bucket and I'm going to pick up all the orange caps because we don't need them anymore. But my wife just went and got these guys donuts and coffee because it is really cold out here and I feel bad for them. Even though it's like, you know, this is what they do for a living, I still feel bad because I've been in construction my whole life. It sucks this time of year. We're definitely going to have to trim this tree because this tree is like the wall is going to be like straight up through there. So that's going to have to get cut. So I'm getting them the footing boards, my old footing boards. I actually gave them to them, but for now they're using them for staging to stand on planks. So I'm just bringing them over carefully because I don't want to hit my youngest son's new truck. And yeah, so I'm just bringing them over, letting him set them where he wants them. Alright, they're almost done setting up. What they're doing right now is they're putting the drops in for the doors. So basically you put this in upside down 2x10 in there, and that accounts for the door openings. I'll show you after. Okay, these guys just took off and they're done for the day. So let me just run through this real quick. There's going to be 14-foot door here. So that's what this drop down is right there. Let me see if I can show you without falling again, because I slipped and fell because everything, believe it or not, is all slippery and icy. But from here over is 14.6 opening, because it's 3 inches on either side for jack boards or jack whatever, header jacks. And then there's from here to here is this is concrete, like a little stub wall. And then from here over to there is 9.6. So my buddy's working on my 7.3. I got an issue with trying to figure out why it won't come up to temperature. I've changed the gauges and all kinds of stuff, but there's something going on with it, so that's what you're hearing back there. He's got his computer on it, so I'll show you. So it's 2 feet from the corner, then this door, 9'6" across, and then the little wall, and then the 14x6. And then my plan is to do a 9x10 door here for the smaller vehicles, and then keep that the big bay, so it'll be all the way down there. So that'll be 50 something feet all the way. So, and then there's another door, like a man door on that corner, so I can go out that way because that's going to be parking. I'm going to just stone that area and park over there. And then there's another door in the center up there. I didn't want to put one on this side at all because I might plant large bushes down here to block this off, like some green giant arborvitaes, so they'll get big here. I'm not sure. And then just block it off from the neighbor's view if possible. But yeah, so they're gonna come back when it's time to pour, and then they're gonna adjust all the walls and kick all these boards in and out or whatever that are holding the walls, to make the string line, the walls straight with the string line. And then they're gonna pour it. It's 5 feet, but what they do is, for those that don't know, they take the laser and then they snap a string line, and then they put grade nails everywhere. Like you can see, there's another one, and then another one, and the grade nails are all down the whole side. But these panels are 5 foot 4 inches, so we are 4 inches down from the top of these panels. My son's going to do some fixing to his dirt bike. It's been giving him some issues, but tools are out there. Until we get the shop done, it'll be nice because he can just stay where it's warm in here. It was snowing really bad earlier, and then it like kind of stopped, and then that snow actually melted. It's kind of weird. And now it's starting to get cold again, and I don't know if you can see the snowflakes, but it's snowing again. So that elevation there, that string line, is the exact elevation of the bulkhead. I shot the bulkhead, which I checked into it. My bulkhead top of foundation is the same as the rest of the house. Some of them, sometimes they come down a little bit. They have like a little jog down. Mine is the same all along. So my house top of foundation and my garage top of foundation are exactly the same elevation. So if I have any issues with water between the two, I can grade it off this way or that way. But as you can see, it's a lot of work. There's 4, even though they only called for 3 rebar, or 1 at the bottom, 1 in the middle, at the top. We ended up, the way these panels are set up and they sit them on the ties, we ended up just doing 4. So basically what they do is they just sit the rebar on the ties. The bottom 2 are actually tied to the uprights. The top one is just sitting there. And then the grounding cable, they just loop it over for the footing, for the electric. That just gets like looped over and it just sits there. Now they've laid out rebar all around the whole place for the top. The 4th one, when they're pouring, they drop that in with the anchor bolts. So here's the door that's going to be on the front, just the man door. And then I plan on putting like a patio out here, or like a porch off the building with like a patio area, and try to dress it up so my wife doesn't have to, from the house, look at this big monstrosity. If I make it look a little pretty out front, hopefully she'll be happy with it. And yeah, so that's the drop down here and here for the door. So basically the way that the drop down works on that is it's figured to go down, and then I forget the numbers off the top of my head, but I'm not 100% sure about the slab. So the drop down is low enough to where when I come off the slab, to meet the drop down, I'm either going to have like a 6 to 8 inch haunch. So I think it's like 2 feet from the top here is where it drops down. So you'll have the opening plus enough for a haunch to lock the slab in underneath the doorways. However, I did notice that I'm definitely going to have to get some more dirt. I don't know. Actually, I do know where all the dirt went. We stripped out, if you go back to the original video when I started this, there was a row of bushes across here, and then there was a whole bunch of millings there that was really thick. So when I had stripped all that out, that's where I'm losing so much dirt. That's why I have like this huge amount of lost dirt. And then this, you know, because of the washout on an angle, is not terrible. I did feel a little bad, you know, because these guys had to walk on uneven ground, but like I told them, hey, you know, a couple months ago, this was all perfectly flat for you, but unfortunately, they are extremely busy. So because they couldn't get to it, because of their schedule, we had a couple rainstorms, and I mean, there's really not much I could do about it, even though my son, my youngest son here, him and his brother, one of the rainstorms, it was so bad that you couldn't even see the footing. I'll try to put a picture in here. But him and his brother actually shoveled this all back out and then took a hose and a scrub brush on a pole and scrubbed that footing clean. So that was a big help from them. But that's how bad it was. We had that bomb cyclone thing that came through, and the water was like some insane amount of water, you know, that we got. I forget how many inches of water, but it was insane. It was like 3 inches in an hour. Or, does that sound right? It was something crazy like that, but it was taking all of this dirt off of here and just washing it down into there. You can see the big like washout. I mean, it was bad. I mean, this washout's even worse. So unfortunately, it is what it is. You know, they took care of me on this. They're good dudes. So when someone takes care of you on something, you gotta wait. So it is what it is. All right, it is Wednesday, and it's 3 o'clock, and I just got done with work, and they're just getting here to set up the pump, and then they're gonna pour the walls. The way that they wash these out is pretty cool too. They just suck a sponge ball through the end of the boom pipe. When I worked there driving the mixer, I used to go in the shop and hard face the inside of the elbows with the welder, because a lot of times the elbows wear out. This thing, the way that it works is, if I remember correctly, there's 2 big cylinders that work in there, and they're opposite. And they're like giant syringes, if you can imagine that. That's like the best way I can describe it. And one's sucking mix in as the other's pushing it out. And then you hear a clunk, clunk. That is the big valve moving over. So it'll be a round valve, and this one will be pushing through the boom pipe. And then it switches when the cylinder goes back, and then the one is now pushing, and the other one that it was just at sucks. So that's why you hear kunk, 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 kunk. It's that big valve going back and forth between the cylinder syringes. I call them syringes, but they're giant cylinders. All right, first mixer is here. I'm gonna hold the wires for them. All right. You see the opening there I was talking about? I don't know if you can see it. I don't want to reach in there, but the big valve switches over. Between the, you can see it kind of, but it goes like this, back and forth. When one pulls the stroke that way, it's sucking in. When this is open, that valve back there, and then the other one pushes forward and it comes out through here and around. So what he's gonna do now is he's gonna run it up and get the slump that he wants, and then they'll dump in there. All right, so one left, one's backing in, and one's gonna wait on the street. And I got the wires again. This must be a new one. Ah, my man!
What up?
Coffee, nice. Last truck. So they don't put a lot of chutes on when they are pouring into here. Sometimes if you got a big pour, you can put another truck here also and pour into it. And then the barrel, there's a pedal on your foot, and you can reverse the barrel, and it's got spirals in it, and that's what brings the mix up to the top and dumps in the chute. When you're mixing it, I used to, you full bore, full throttle, and put your foot on the pedal all the way to the back. Then there's a valve in the cab, and the valve in the cab works this water tank, and then you mix the water by opening it to the slump, the desired slump. See how it's going side to side like that? It's shaking, that big clunk. That is the that big thing moving from syringe, valve, whatever you want to call it, back and forth. Basically, right there, goes down in here and it sucks the mix up, then that thing goes clunk, and then the other one, there's another one next to it, pushes it out. And then it sends it up this tube all the way down there and then up the boom pipe. They make different size pumps too. These guys have 5 of these. I think they got a 40 meter, a 38, and some others. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. But he's vibrating the walls. I asked him to vibrate the walls. And then they got a guy that's doing the little topper, finishing the top. And then he's putting in the anchor bolts. See, I wanted him to vibrate it, just because I think it makes the walls smoother. You can see the cream coming out of just everywhere. Normally they just take a hammer and smack it, but I'm a little paranoid. The tree's definitely gonna have to get trimmed though. She's gonna lose the tree. I know she's upset about it, but the cool thing is he runs this whole truck from the remote. then he just tells him where he wants him to put it. The whole thing is run from just that controller. When he honks the horn, that means he wants the truck to stop. It's like going to the bank drive-through. Then he'll just fold it up, pull the ball out of there. So you turn the pump around and he's gonna clean out here, and then I'll flatten it out a little bit so that I can break it up later. That's what I did the last time. That's what that is. So he just took the ball out right out of that. Then he'll wash it off. There we go. Just knocked open the trap door on the hopper, and gonna clean it out. It just comes right out of the bottom. Okay, so it's February, foundation's poured. Couple things I'm not happy about, but my buddies say I'm real picky, so yeah, just a couple things I'm not too thrilled about. I kind of wish I didn't pour this foundation or let them pour this in the cold. Unfortunately, their schedule, it was supposed to be in September, and then they got super busy, and then they got super busy again, and then we ended up pouring in this thing 3 weeks ago, maybe. So in what, beginning of January. So yeah. And then when the guys were stripping it, there was a couple of guys that were prying on the top, and I got a couple little chips in the top there that I've had to fix. And I did talk to my buddy that owns the company, and he was very apologetic, and he was really, really upset that his guys did that. But other than that, the other thing I'm upset about is I probably should have told him, like, not to, like, do this. Like, don't pour it, because I should have waited till the weather was better. But that's my fault, you know. Like, they do, like, concrete pours all the time, all winter long, with, like, accelerant and everything, but I just don't like the cold because I don't have any heat blankets, so I kind of wish I didn't pour it this time of year because I can't backfill it. The biggest reason why I'm upset that, and I'm really upset with myself, because if I had known that their schedule was going to go the way that it was going to go, I kind of wanted to form this up, and I really wanted to do it myself, but I got super busy with work, and I was thinking it's going to take me forever by myself to do this, to set up boards with, like, plywood and everything. But honestly, if I had known that their schedule was going to get super busy also, then I would have just did it myself, just because I wanted to say that I did it. So, I mean, yeah, whatever. They did have some shitty forms. They had, like, some new forms down there, and then you could see where it turns, and then they had some shitty old forms, which doesn't really affect anything. All it is that the laminate from the form came off. It's not plywood, so that's not wood. It's just like paper laminate that came off. So I might scrape it off. I might tar over it. I don't know. But I've had a sub pump in here, and I've been pumping it out every time it rains. And we're supposed to be getting, like, a heavy rain and snow and everything, so I kind of want to get this tarred since it's been like a month I want to say the beginning of January. But they say it takes like 28 days for concrete to fully cure. But I can't backfill it because the ground's frozen and I don't want to backfill frost. So I really, well, also I'm getting ahead of myself here. I gotta tar it before I can backfill it, and I gotta put the insulation board, but I've been shopping around for the insulation board because I don't want to pay $1,200 from the place down the street for the pink insulation board that's gonna go like right along here, because eventually we're gonna put heated floors in there. But I gotta tar it, and I gotta get that insulation board like stuck to it somehow before I can call for inspection to backfill. It's 5 degrees out, so that's another reason why I'm really kind of upset, because if I had known that their schedule was going to take this long, I would have put it either. I should have just said, hey, it's taking too long. I don't want to pour in the cold. I don't want my foundation sitting in frost or whatever, my footings and everything. Even though it's, 5,000 PSI mix loaded with rebar, I don't know. There's a few things I'm not happy about, but all in all, I'm happy with my buddy. I'm just kind of mad at myself about some decisions that I made. So let's move on. How about that?